Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 49. It is almost day 50 anniversary. And you know what's fun about the day 50 anniversary? It's my AP environmental science test. Yay! I did some studying for. Oh, you can't really see it. I wrote in light blue pen. Anyways, yeah. So for strength today, I did push-ups, 50 push-ups. Yeah. I need to go grab it. Actually, let me do some research right now. Oh, we type the FRQ for AP Environmental Science. I just found out. Okay. Yeah. So I did some more studying about environmental science. I reviewed the biogeochemical cycles. There's so we need to remember that there are four important cycles. Wait, is it 4 or 5? Five important cycles. Water, which is H2, hydrogen and oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur. So for hydrogen, for water, we already know this because it's the water cycle. It's quite simple. Evaporation up, precipitation down, the runoff, and plant evaporation and other stuff. Carbon, a little more complicated. Photosynthesis from plants. Cows eat plants. We eat cows or plants. When we fart, CO2. When we breathe, CO2. When we die, and then like fossil fuels, that's also carbon, not CO2. Carbon. Nitrogen cycle is more complicated. Most of the nitrogen is in the air around us. I'm pretty sure it's around 72% nitrogen. The statistics really doesn't matter. It's just a bunch of nitrogen all around us. Nitrogen fixation from like bacteria and stuff into ammonia. Then it gets assimilated through plants, into plants. We eat plants. We die. Ammonification to nitrification. And then there's and that gives us nitrate. Now, this can go back into the atmosphere by being broken down, or it can go into algae growth. And since nitrogen is a limiting factor, it might break down and go into eutrophication, which is like a bunch of algae grow, then a bunch of algae die. So the area where the algae grow and die, there's no oxygen left because of the algae, and that's eutrophication. Phosphorus is rock go up, water break down rock, so you get like phosphorus. Plant absorb phosphorus. We eat plant, we die, phosphorus. And then this can also do the same thing as nitrogen, where since it's a limiting factor, limiting nutrients, like if it's in the water, algae growth, usually it comes from fertilizer though, algae growth, and then massive algae death, and because of that, eutrophication, and there's no oxygen left. Sulfur, bacteria makes dimethyl sulfate, which becomes SO2. Volcano makes SO2. Factories burn stuff and make SO2. Then it rains down as sulfuric acid. Yeah. There's also winds and stuff with like El Nino and La Nina, where because like the sun is shining down hard on the equator will heat up so there will be a bunch of weather down there. I already explained it, but then at the 30-degree mark, it will cycle down, and that area will be dry because all the weather, well, not all the weather, the dry atmosphere will be at around the 30 mark where it falls down, and it will be a desert. And then so it's like a loop like this, but then because the earth is moving, there will be a Coriolis effect where even though it's looping like this, the bottom part's spinning, so it's like and then this makes the trade winds. That makes the trade winds. El Nino is when it actually reversed, so from this to either it's like this, and then La Nina is like so yeah. I mean, also El Nino can be like that, but La Nina is reinforced, like enforcing this, and El Nino is going back. Also, yesterday I was talking about the atmospheres. I messed up, my bad. Let me just fix it today. We have the trophic sphere. We remember this because it's like where all the clouds are. It's constantly changing. Any ozone here is bad ozone. Then above it, we have the stratosphere. The lower part of the stratosphere, I think it's either between the trophic sphere and the stratosphere, or in the lower parts of the stratosphere is the ozone layer. Now the ozone layer eats up UV light, right? O2 gets UV light into two O's, and then another O2 will be like yummy and combine into O3, which is ozone. So ozone takes in UV light, blah blah blah. Then above that is the mesosphere. The mesosphere is in the middle. That's usually where if there's an asteroid coming down, once it hits the mesosphere, it starts burning up. Above that, which I forgot yesterday, was the thermosphere. That's where the aurora borealis is, and it is the hottest part of our atmosphere. Above that is the exosphere, which is like edging to space. Yeah, it's edging space. There's some other stuff in AP environmental science, but a bunch of it is just like critical thinking, data. And if you didn't done AP bio before, you kind of already know it. So yeah. Also there's asbestos. For discipline today, I made sure to clean my table because a clean table leads to a clean mind. Now, for the fun topic of the day, I will be talking about asbestos. Now, asbestos. A little history lesson for you guys. In the early parts of housemaking in the United States, asbestos was really common. It was, I think, is it a good insulator? Is asbestos a good insulator? Yeah, so it's a really good insulator, and because of the fiber, it's also really resistant to fire, right? It's really resistant to fire. So you're like, damn, this is really good. But then if you're around asbestos too much, lung cancer, right? Lung cancer. So yeah, asbestos is no longer in use, but some old basements still has asbestos. So it's actually it's not very common, but depending on where a plumber's working, they actually might be dealing with asbestos, and they are at a higher risk of lung cancer. Now, what's important about asbestos? Number one, it's covered on the APES exam, but number two, is it Human Torch? Okay, I'm pretty sure it's the Human Torch. So we all know Human Torch. He's the fire guy from Marvel. I think Fantastic Four, maybe, I don't know. But he has a supervillain called Asbestos Man, and Asbestos Man has a deep understanding of chemistry and was able to make super asbestos, and he super got cancer. So at the beginning, he was just a flame resistance dude causing harm, and then Human Torch had to deal with him. But then I'm pretty sure in a later issue of a comic, we see what happens to Asbestos Man, and it turns out he got lung cancer from dressing up in asbestos. So guys, don't breathe in asbestos. If you're a plumber, don't asbestos yourself. This will be it for day 49. For day 50, I'll be doing the same thing as day 25, where I review my past 25 episodes, and that will be it. Bye bye.